Have you ever wondered what Garnet Valley High School students' favorite cafeteria food was? With pizza, pasta, tacos, and chicken nuggets, there are so many options to choose from. To find this out, we can employ the statistical method of sampling to obtain an answer to our question. Contrary to a census, a method where the entire population is selected for the study, sampling techniques offer a practical, less expensive, and less time-consuming way to estimate about a population. The goal of sampling is to produce a representative sample, one that has essentially the same characteristics as the population being studied and is free of any type of systematic bias. There are several different types of sampling techniques. In a simple random sample, a sample of a given size is chosen in such a way that every possible sample of that size is equally likely to be chosen. Members of the sampling frame, or a list of all members of the population from which we can draw a sample, are usually assigned a number, then chosen for the sample group using a random number table. In a systematic sample, the first member of the sample is chosen with some random procedure and the rest are chosen according to some well-defined pattern. In a stratified random sampling frame is divided into strata and a simple random sample of the same size is taken from each strata. In cluster sampling, the population is first divided into clusters. We randomly selected a cluster or clusters and include all members of the cluster or clusters in the sample. In our survey to determine Garnet Valley students' favorite cafeteria food, we will be using cluster sampling techniques. Garnet Valley High School has 4 wings, A, B, C, and D. We will assign 1 to wing A, 2 to wing B, 3 to wing C, and 4 to wing D. Using a random number table, we will break up the table into 1-digit increments and write down the first number in the range from 1 to 5. When we did this, the number that came up was 2, so we will be studying the B wing. Next, we broke up the wing into 1 classroom cluster. Again, we'll assign each of the 49 classrooms in the B wing a number, and using a random number table, we pick the first number out of the range of 1 to 49. 31 was the number which correlates to room B202. So we will survey each person in the class and ask them what their favorite food was, giving them 4 options: pasta, tacos, pizza, and chicken nuggets.
What's your favorite food from the cafeteria? Pizza, tacos, pasta, or chicken nuggets? Pasta. What's your favorite food from the cafeteria? Pizza, tacos, pasta, or chicken nuggets? Pasta. What's your favorite food from the cafeteria? Pizza, tacos, pasta, or chicken nuggets? Pasta. What's your favorite food from the cafeteria? Pizza, tacos, pasta, or chicken nuggets?
Tacos. Alright, after collecting all the data, pizza was selected 3 times, giving it a percentage of 12. Tacos were chosen 3 times, giving it a percentage of 12. Pasta was selected 17 times, giving it a probability of 68%. And chicken nuggets were selected 6 times, giving it a probability of 24%. To display this data, we can illustrate it in a bar graph. Although a sample representative of the population is what we strive for, these results don't represent the accurate results due to sources of bias. I'm here with Kelsey Feldman, fellow student. What do you think bias is?
I think it's when you favor something.
What do you think bias is? Sister Fortuna, what do you think bias is?
I think bias is sort of an example on the part of a person. So if they have an idea about something, right? And so their answer would affect how they feel about it. You know what I'm saying? So some of the questions that you can hear, like when person will ask, like, "Oh, what do you think about homework?" If you ask a teacher what they think about homework, you're probably going to get a very different answer than if you ask a student about homework.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Macy, what is bias?
Wait, is this legit?
Yes, it's legit.
I remember to study.
Yes.
Bias is when there's influence over an answer.
What do you think bias is? Ice cream sandwich, what do you think bias is?
I think bias is bad.
As you can see, people have many different things of what they think bias is. Some are right, others are wrong, but the statistical definition of bias is any systematic failure of a sample to represent its population of interest. It is very, very important that we reduce bias in all samples. The best way to reduce bias is through randomization. We can reduce it, but we can never completely eliminate it.
The four sources of bias are undercoverage bias, response bias, non-response bias, and voluntary response bias.
Undercoverage bias is a sampling scheme that differs from its population of interest by excluding or underrepresenting some part of the population results.
Next is response bias. Anything that influences responses falls in the category of response bias.
Check.
Non-response bias occurs when individuals selected for a study or sample fail to respond, cannot be contacted, or decline to participate.
Voluntary response bias is when people choose to respond, usually because they have strong feelings of a subject, rather than using randomization to obtain a sample.
Through our use of randomization, we eliminated many sources of bias, but as we said before, bias cannot ever be fully eliminated. This study that we did separate from response bias, since we only gave the surveyors 4 choices to pick out of, affecting what their answer would be. Also, due to the small size of the sample and the fact that we chose all our participants from one classroom, that also was a source